You all who are with us here today, whether you're on our Zoom feed or Facebook, we appreciate you. My name is Randy Carroll. I am the channel manager here at Chime Technologies. Today on the line, we've got Tyler Auerbacher. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. He is the founder of Dippidi and has had a long history in the sales and marketing world, as diverse as working for the Tampa Bay Bucks, as much as we may feel bad for him there, all the way to actually working with some of our close friends over at Curator. So been around a lot of great people, has a lot to bring to the table. And today, what we're going to do is take a deep dive into developing your own MBA free of tuition. All right. So MBA, marketing, branding, and advertising. Tyler is going to talk to us about what exactly you can do from home in order to develop your brand, your marketing, your advertising, et cetera. He's going to show us a little bit about what they do at Dippidi for those of you who may have more money than time. And ultimately, everyone's going to get to walk away from this with a free 90-day layout of what they should be doing for their marketing. So without any further ado, I'll hand it over to Tyler. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me, Randy. I'm excited to share some perspective and some context here. You know, as you guys know, it's very important to build your own brand. And I'm going to go through some direct examples and some insights and some metrics for you guys to not only hopefully get some good takeaways, but actually execute on what you learned today. You're going to go away with an actual template to use to build quarterly game plans on your own. That you can do with your team, by yourself if you like. But really, it's important that you guys have a game plan and a structure to follow. That's the first step. So I'm going to kind of go through exactly what we do for our clients here at Dippidi. We work with a handful of clients all across the country on these exact efforts, these strategies. So we have proven results, and we have these philosophies that I think you guys are going to get some benefit from here. So I'm just excited. And as we move along, I will have like 10 or 15 minutes towards the end for Q&A. So feel free to drop in any questions along the way. I know, Randy, you're going to interject here or there. Feel free as well, so I can dive a little bit deeper on something in particular. But I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to share my screen, and then I'll be bouncing around between that and some examples. So.
Perfect. And so what y'all just heard was that you were going to walk away from today with actual, tangible next steps, right? This is not a fluff webinar. This is not a sales webinar. This is take what you learned from today and implement it in your business, and you'll see results, right? So at the end of the day, there's no excuse to walk away with this with nothing, right? What we're going to go through today is actionable, and I'm excited to see Tyler get started. So I'll stop talking now. Kick us off. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now?
That's a really long blink. Oh, yep, there it is.
Okay, cool. No, I was just saying, like, during these times, I'm myself attending many webinars, and I enjoy the ones that not only do I get value from, but I can actually go to the drawing board and take it and implement it, you know? So that's the biggest thing. Whenever I do these, I want to not only, educate, but I want to, give so you guys can actually execute. So of course, we do these things for our clients to take it off their plate so they don't have to. But if you have the time or someone on staff to do these strategies, it's so important that you at least dip your toe in and you do some of these things that you're going to learn today, if you aren't already. But yeah, the biggest thing that you guys need to understand, especially right now, this is a quote from Tuvi at Facebook. The growth of their platform, as well as Instagram, Facebook owns Instagram, over the past few weeks, even months, the usage has been unprecedented. People are consuming content on social media now more than ever. If you weren't a believer in content marketing before, pre-pandemic, you better be now. This is only going to continue. And now this needs to be a pillar in your business. You need to be creating,
back some of the faces we catch them in. Tyler, we lost you.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Did you catch any of that?
We caught that this is an unprecedented time for Facebook and Instagram, and if you didn't believe in content marketing, you should believe in it now.
Okay, got the beginning only. Man, okay. I'm not sure what's going on. If that happens again, just let me know, okay? And I can pick back up. But no, I was saying right now it's super important that you guys are creating content because people are consuming it more than ever. It's important to create unique custom content that educates, informs, or entertains, right? So with your target market, you need to create content that provides value. People are on social media now more than ever, especially during these times. So now it's very important that you guys take these efforts and take it seriously and start implementing these things into your weekly and monthly strategies. Everything good now, Randy?
Yep, we're with you.
Cool. So the biggest thing that I really want to hammer home and sort of set the foundation is the inbound marketing philosophy. So when we work with clients, before we even do our first brainstorm, before we even start creating content on their behalf, we need to understand that they understand our philosophy. We need to be ingrained together, and they need to know the difference between the traditional funnel approach and the flywheel model that we take for our clients. And this is what we recommend really for any business, no matter what industry, to model their strategy by, okay? With the traditional funnel approach, the whole goal is to get as many people at the top that will eventually convert and funnel down to the bottom, right? And you're really just focused on that vicious cycle to get people more at the top to become customers and convert them. Once they become customers, you typically forget about them. You know, you're on to the next, mass amounts of traffic that you can attract to then move down. And you rinse and repeat that over and over, and it's a manual labor process. It gets tiring. The flywheel model is more of an automated approach for your business, where you're actually going deeper with your clients. You're going deeper with people that already have shown some intent or know you, like you, or trust you. All those things are super important when it comes to content marketing. So in the flywheel model, you want to attract, engage, and delight. The whole goal is to create content, whether it be hyperlocal blogs about things that are going on, which I'm going to give you guys direct examples that you can replicate on your own here. But the overall philosophy is when you attract, engage, and delight, you're creating this autonomous wheel of content that brings people down a journey. And when you do that, you are attracting, not chasing, your business. You're creating content that people want to read or consume. Again, you want to educate, inform, or entertain. That's the core reason that you create content. Okay, so when you attract them, then you now have remarketing in place that re-engages them. It shows more intent. They have more convert style campaigns that capture leads or people inquire. But then you want to take it a step further as well. All of your existing past clients, all of the people that are in your sphere, you need to upload those people to social media to stay top of mind with them as well. And now you're delighting customers. You're delighting your sphere. So now you have a full comprehensive flywheel model that you're attracting, engaging, and delighting with your content. And what happens is, we're in the South, Randy, so we know all about hurricanes. So when it comes to this wheel or this model, it grows as you get more customers. At the core, it's always centered around your customers. That's what your content should be about. And as you get more, it not only spins faster, it grows. Your business grows, your customers grow, and your marketing grows. So it kind of, you begin to get brand promoters, not only customers or clients, but people that are actually advocating for you and giving you free marketing. Does that make sense?
So let me point out, Tyler, this is a fundamental shift in the way professionals think about marketing and advertising. I want to point out that on the flywheel, there are 3 words you won't see that you see on the traditional funnel: capture, nurture, and convert, right? Because the engaging and the delight inherently fulfills those needs of nurturing and converting. And what I think should also be pointed out is this traditional sales funnel was developed during a limited time of technology and a limited means of engagement with our customers, with our clients, right? Because we are so interconnected, not just in this country, but globally, your sphere can be so much larger and your technology can engage and delight with so many more, right? So it's this idea that technology can empower the way you engage and delight people that allows you to service a greater number of customers rather than this funnel that inherently had to get smaller because the bandwidth of the individual was only so large and it was actually restricted by the technology of the day, right? So this is a fundamental shift that everyone should understand before taking the next step. So this is great. This is great stuff already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, exactly. Like with this is a whole different philosophy when it comes to your content and your social media advertising strategy. So, but like I said, before we even work with any client, before we even talk about content, what they want, they need to understand this core change of mindset here. So this is all about inbound marketing and attracting, not chasing after business. So that's definitely the biggest thing there. So I'm going to go right into our process, and then I'm going to kind of reverse engineer the steps in that. And then I'm going to show you exactly what some actual tangible and tactical things are in each step. Okay. So our process, I'm going to make sure everybody on this call, if you're watching on Facebook Live, drop your email if you want a copy of this as well, or just this entire webinar. But this is going to be a downloadable social media advertising outline that you guys can actually use and replicate and actually put into your own ideas, your own blogs. You can pour into this document on a quarterly basis and reuse over and over again. Okay. So this is going to be something that after this call, we can send out, Randy, for everyone to have. But when it comes to our process, the first thing that has to be noted is you have to understand what type of content you're creating. And the first thing that you can see here is like with hyperlocal articles or industry related blogs or any other sort of content, you can dictate and you can note to make sure that you're staying on track and you're having a diverse strategy when it comes to your content marketing. So this is like, you can see an example here of a piece of content that we actually wrote for a client. But you'll see the framework here, and I don't want to go through the actual, like the logistical framework of it. You can see for yourself, but you'll see that once you get the idea of what type of content that you want to put into this plan, and again, we recommend do this on a quarterly basis with your team or with yourself to make sure you stay on track. But put this content in this document to then reference week by week to make sure that you are marking things off, things are posting, getting sent out. So this is a replicate of what we do for our clients. This is a more like, we actually use like a program we've invested in, but this is in a Google Doc that you guys can use the same exact way. But once you have the brainstorm and the content, the inspiration, maybe you found an article that you want to replicate, that you got inspired to put on your own blog, you can link that stuff so you can always go back. So this is something that I'm going to give to you guys for free and just for you guys to use on your own if you don't already have a scheduling outline or a tool to follow. But I'm basically, the first step, again, is making sure that you understand the philosophy and that you have a game plan that you can implement and actually, stay accountable with. And even if you have a team member, now you have a document that they could use and you could see and make sure that you're staying on track. So those are the first core steps, is making sure the philosophy and making sure you have a plan and a framework in mind. Now it's about, okay, what do I actually put into the plan? What are some examples? What are some ideas? How do I even get ideas? Like, most of our clients don't even have time to think about these things. That's why they hire us to do that for them on a continuous basis. But if you do, it's so important that you allocate an hour, an hour a week, or if you do it on a quarterly basis, you can batch that. You can spend a day focused on your branding or your marketing, branding, and advertising. It's so important to do that if you're not already. But these are some actual examples that I want to show you guys to use. Let me see. So
and the beauty of this time that we're in, guys, is these kinds of things, these quarterly marketing objectives are, I know how it is. They're the first things to go to the back of the line because they don't directly or immediately result in sales, right? But it's so important to have these in order to build a actual pipeline and in order to nurture and engage and delight your database. This is the time now to build this out. I mean, there is no better time. We're just opening up, but for the large part, we've been told to stay inside and work on your business.
Yep, exactly. And right now it's so important to do that. And like I said, you need to have a framework and a plan in place, but now I actually want to show you guys direct examples and some metrics. Hopefully this works this time. I'm not sure why I didn't the first time.
This is great, guys. You should take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot right here, right now, and use this as a reference when you're going through and creating your plan.
Yeah, exactly. These are things that we actually have ran recently for our clients that you guys can literally take and run with. These are things that are very hyper localized. So you actually do have to do some intel. You have to do some legwork. You guys live in your areas, of course. You know where to shop, you know where to eat, you know what restaurants are still offering curbside pickup. Talk about these things, educate, and be an authority figure in your community. And as a byproduct of the value that you give, you're going to attract people to you as a person, and that'll eventually trickle into, what do you do for a living? Oh, you're a real estate agent? Awesome. I don't have one currently. I'm definitely going to go with you when it's time. Like, this is when you start to build a pipeline and start to build what's called brand and emotional equity. So this is super important to understand. Yes, these things are not about real estate. These things do not, you're not about to get your home's valuation in these blog articles. This is about attracting people to your website. And also it helps with SEO. So with the content that you drive, not only are you talking about hyperlocal things that help organically, in the search rankings, but if you're boosting ads, if you're driving traffic to your website, Google views your website as an authority because you're getting new visitors, you're getting repeat visitors, and that stuff compounds. So over time, if you consistently put out valuable content about your hyperlocal area, and then I'm going to also talk about things that are more centered around real estate, of course, but you want to have a diverse mix that's hitting people at different angles and showing that you're relatable on different levels, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely take a screenshot of these. These are some high performing, hyper local blogs that we ran, and these are the Facebook ads of these blogs. So once you click on the link, it takes you to that blog. I don't actually have the blogs here. If you guys want that, I can send that to you after the fact. But these are the metrics of those 3 blogs here. Okay, so the first one you can see, it reached almost 10,000 people. It was shown to almost 17,000 people, but it got 622 link clicks. So 622 people, new people, or people in their sphere, visited their website to consume that blog content about 6 things we can't wait to do again when the city reopens. So again, that's new opportunities for you guys to remarket. So the same thing goes here for a local food hall. Talk about things that are happening. Talk about new restaurants that are opening. Talk about new things that are developing in your community, and people want to read that stuff. And what happens is then you have the power of remarketing. And that's when we're going to talk about, how do we make sure that we're capturing these people. And you can see my pro tip down here. You have to make sure that you have your custom audiences set up prior to doing any of these efforts. And I'm going to jump right into Ads Manager so you guys can see, because I wanted to make sure to go through this step, because this is like a really...
Yeah. Let's spend some time on the custom audiences, because I think there's a lot of misinformation about what can and can't be done on Facebook custom audiences. And I want people to understand how powerful they are, even after the limitations placed on them by HUD.
Yep, exactly. So like you can see here, like these are articles that are written for the community, where we can be a little bit more broad-based. We can, have that 15-mile radius. And again, we're giving valuable content. It's not a locked blog. It's not, we're not requiring someone to unlock a blog about what, a cleaning checklist. We want people to consume this content, to enter into, to have more opportunities down the road. And you qualify people with your content over time. Again, it compounds. So but yeah, in terms of your audiences, in your ad account, when you go to custom audiences, the first thing that you guys need to do, if you aren't doing this already, I'd recommend doing this on a monthly or quarterly basis, but upload your CSV file, your existing database. Go into Chime, export your database, and upload that right into Facebook. I have a dummy one here on my desktop just to show you guys. It's super, super simple. Once you have that file exported from your CRM, all you do is go to the next step. The lifetime value, don't worry about that really, unless you're getting a little bit more entrenched. But all you do is upload the file, the actual CSV file, and then Facebook actually matches that data. It pulls in the people who are on that file. So the email, if you have phone number, name, all that stuff, Facebook will recognize and match those users to stay in front of on social media. So think about the power of attracting people to your brand. You're not only, hopefully you're sending out emails to your database also to stay in front of people, stay top of mind that way. But now you're taking it a step further on social media by staying top of mind, but with valuable content that is branded to you specifically, that is your messaging, targeting, your audience with your goals in mind. That's what's super important, and it needs to be embedded into your strategy. But with the customer list, that should be the first custom audience you guys upload right away. Put that into Facebook, and then you can have an audience that you can run ads targeting that database list. It's very powerful.
Yeah. And the larger your database is, the louder you need to be hearing this.
Exactly. And exactly. Like if you have 5,000 people sitting in your database and you aren't doing these efforts, please do them. Do them yesterday. Like you guys, remarketing is such an opportunity for you guys to provide value to the people who already know you, like you, and trust you. Instead of just targeting people in your community, which you should, but now you're going deeper with the people who are already have had a taste with your brand. So there's other sources that you can use to create custom audiences, like your website traffic. This is a necessity, and I'm sure you guys do this whenever you guys onboard clients, Randy. But if not, we can help for sure. But before you start running ads, it's important that you have your website pixel installed for Facebook. So putting that pixel onto your website back end then Facebook will match your website activity to target people. So for example, someone who goes to your testimonials page or your About Us page, and they go back to Facebook, they should see a testimonial video or a recent testimonial, something that shows based on intent. They move down that pipe, if that makes sense. They're showing some sort of intent, and you can push relevant content their way based on their action or activity. Same thing goes for your Facebook page or Instagram page. If you guys have more questions about that, I can get super nerdy and we can spend a whole session on just that alone. before I even go any further, I'll just stop there, man. Because yeah.
Quentin is saying, would you mind talking a little bit about remarketing techniques? Is that something you plan on going over?
Yeah, for sure. That's something I'm definitely planning to hit on.
Awesome. So hang tight, Quentin. We'll get there.
Yep. So the other campaign here, the 7 restaurants, that absolutely crushed it as well. It got, again, over 600 people to our client's website. And again, they're only spending $100, $75 to get that mass amount of traffic to then pour into their CRM or pour into their remarketing audiences for us to then do, like Gwen's asking, like what sort of content do we push their way? We can push relevant content based on their actions, like I was saying. So you can have campaigns that are set up in the background that are already running ongoing that say when someone visits your IDX page or a certain listing, we can show other listings that are like that. And that's called a dynamic remarketing ad. You can have ads from your IDX that show relevant homes, kind of like when you go to Amazon and go back to Facebook, you get targeted like crazy with that exact product. That's the same technology Facebook has rolled into real estate. So you can target people based on their actions and activity, not only on your website, but also your IDX. So that's where the power of remarketing really comes into play. Is you can run ads based on when someone's looking at a 2-bedroom home in a certain area. When they go back to Facebook, they'll see 2-bedroom homes in that area, and for 7 or 14 days, or until they show other sort of intent.
And all of you Chime clients have a head start on this because your customer database has that information, does it not? Right, Tyler? So you can when you upload that customer list in here, you're already in, and not only can you remarket to them with this type of content that's value add, but you can also use this dynamic form of remarketing in order to actually market the similar type homes that they've looked at while on your Chime website. So
exactly.
You've got a head start, even, I would say. So
yeah, man. I mean,
this is huge.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys with the platform that you guys have, you guys are all in one solution. You have literally the website builder for us to create content. You have the IDX, which is really world class, and then the CRM tied in together. It's an amazing comprehensive solution that allows us to get results for our clients. It puts us in a better position. So, with dynamic remarketing, that only supercharges our efforts because it's capturing people based on intent and action. And then we also have other campaigns that are running that are capturing, we're hitting people in other areas of nonstop value. And as long as you're providing value and not being spammy or salesy, you can sleep well at night. You understand that you're coming from a place of contribution and you have empathy with your marketing. And if someone gets offended, they get offended. Then you aren't going to work with them anyway. You want to build brand promoters and go deeper with the people. And don't worry about going so wide. As long as you go deep, you're going to naturally go wide based on referrals and based on brand promoters. So just go deep with the people who are already in your sphere, people that you've worked with. Reach back out, like do these remarketing campaigns that put you back to being top of mind. So all these stuff work together. But this is an example to the right here, Randy, of the one that we have for Boulder Home Source in Colorado. This is an example of someone, like we have this campaign running for this client, Mountain Homes. Anyone that visits a mountain home, like a filter in his IDX, when people go back to Facebook or Instagram, they see homes that are like that home that they searched, or they see things that have that track and provide value and take people down a funnel, take them down a journey that they're showing intent. And if not, that's fine. But you at least have an opportunity to be in the arena. And that's what it's all about.
I love it.
That's an example right there. But man, I mean, listings, this is really the lowest hanging fruit for you guys. So making sure that you guys run listing promotions that have a landing page to capture information. Chime offers beautiful pages. I'm not sure if you guys know, but Chime recently updated their website. I had a demo with their team I think it was last week, and you have everything in your toolbox to execute these strategies to not only create custom content, but then do social media ads that capture leads. It's all in there for you. So, I mean, like with your listings, if you have listings, you should be executing listing promotions, building a single property page, building a landing page, and running an ad. If you don't have a listing, there's ways that you can create, listicles or hot sheets, top 10 homes for sale. Or you can even ask an agent in your office if you can run a listing promotion for them, if you can actually show their home for sale. You'd be surprised at how many agents will say yes to you.
For sure. Yeah,
I'd be surprised in the chat if you have ever asked an agent to promote their listing. Please let me know, because we coach our clients. Clients do that, and that's one of the biggest excuses. Is people say, "Oh, I don't have listings." There's ways to be creative. There's ways that you can show. Even if it's a just sold, like you can show data. Like as long as your MLS allows it, you can show data of past solds or show homes that have sold recently, and you can get creative. And from a consumer's perspective, as long they don't look at who sold that home, they're seeing you pushing that content out, and they're showing or you're showing them that you have activity. It may not be your listing, but you are in the market. You know what's going on. You have a pulse on the community. So it's super important, to just be creative. And at bare minimum, you have things to talk about in your community. So there's that.
Yeah, this is just the 21st century version of asking to hold another agent's open house, right? And Athena says she does it virtually. This is just taking that to the next evolution of promoting it on Facebook. This is the natural evolution of that.
Yep. Yeah, and this this is the other blog that I want to show you, the how to disinfect your home. This is one that we ran at the beginning of the pandemic, and obviously it was a very timely blog. It was something that people were very interested to learn about. And again, we write this content for our clients to provide value for their community. And it's totally unlocked. There's no backhand promotion. There's nothing here other than information that we got from like the CDC, that we got from other sources that we pulled from. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. But this is a blog that has performed better than any other blog we have ever written in the 5+ years that we've been in the industry, quite frankly. I never seen a blog perform this well. It had better metrics than some of these listing promotions, which is unheard of. But you can see here. No, go ahead.
Oh, just saying, and look, this is people who are doubling down on their marketing. They've now experienced the greatest blog performance of all time, right? The agents who put their head in the sand, all of that business they may have gotten is going to this person who ran a how to disinfect your house blog post.
Yep.
For $100, right? All you got to do is spend $100 to attract, however many people, well over 1,000, I'm sure.
So look at this, Randy. This is that first blog that I was talking to you about.
There you go.
I get excited just seeing this stuff, as you can tell. But like how to disinfect a home right next to a brand new listing promotion, like a beautiful brand new home in Boulder, Colorado. Normally you would think that a consumer is going to look at this property, but no, like this blog crushed this by like 4x almost. So like you can see the content, people are willing to consume content that educates, informs, or entertains. And this actually performed, it got more people to their website that blog did versus the listing. So you can see that, the proof is in the pudding here. And the same thing goes for that, for that listicle that remarketing campaign that I was telling you about. Like these are high performing campaigns that are all geared around remarketing, getting people to, you've gotten people, you've attracted people, but now, let's not worry about the funnel that you just forget about people. You want to re-engage them, create that flywheel that's continuously moving. So yeah, those are some great examples for you guys. Hopefully you took some screenshots, or I'll even include a slide deck if you guys would like. If you want the slide deck, let me know in the chat as well, just to so you guys can actually see this
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So here's a little bit of the nerdy end of things. This is, again, kind of the grunt work that we take off our clients' plates, because you guys are busy selling homes. You guys are busy servicing clients. You guys have lives outside of real estate. Actually, you actually, do things outside of, your business. So that's where we become part of our clients' teams, and we become an extension to help. But if you are doing these brainstorms and you have someone on your team, or it's you, these are some ways you can get inspiration and use these resources to pull from. These are things that we do for our clients, because we don't live in Boulder, Colorado. We're in Central Florida, thank goodness. But we, in Boulder, Colorado, we need to lean on Google News and Google Trends and these other sources that I'm going to go through to get hyper-local content, to get content that we can write on our clients' behalf that again educates, informs, or entertains, so they don't have to. But Google News and Google Trends are two of the most probably underutilized resources that are out there on the web for marketers or just business owners to use and create content with. So you can see, like, if you type in your area, like I'm in Google News right now, like Lakeland, Florida. If I type in my city here, and I put in Lakeland, I can literally see trending news articles that are happening in my area. I can literally go back in time. I can see top articles from the last 7 days or 30 days or certain industries, certain topics. I can get super granular in here. But I'm just showing you at a high level. You can put in your area. I can put in Lakeland housing market. I'll just do that just to show you. Like, you can put in certain keywords that Google will they'll pull this data together for you. And look at this, like, is the housing crash coming to Florida? If I'm a real estate agent, I'm probably going to be writing about this topic that I can use from the American Prospect and get some inspiration from, and use my expertise to mix in my own thoughts. I can use this as a starting point to get my brain flowing and then make my own version. And that's what we do for our clients. And that's what you guys can do right now, to get some ideas here. But there's so many different ways that you can slice it and get inspiration. But Google News is an amazing resource, and also Google Trends. So the same sort of thing.
Wow.
You can see things that are actually upcoming. So like certain times of the year, you can see when people start to talk about it. And as marketers, you can get in front of these things and talk about them, or you can lean in onto hot trending topics right now that you can write about that sort of go viral in your area or just have more shareability, So Google Trends, Google News, amazing resources we use every single week for our clients, and I strongly encourage you guys to as well. The other thing is local news outlets. So, like, for example, in the 90-day outline, you'll see the one that we wrote is actually from a local news outlet here in Tampa. It's a baynews9.com article about realtor.com naming Lakeland, shout out Lakeland, being #1 place to buy a home in 2019, not 2020. But last year we were, and the local news outlet wrote that. But again, you can get inspiration from multiple different, sources to repurpose and make your own. So local news outlets, even local influencers. So, some like local chamber members or the mayor or, certain community figures that you can follow and also get some inspiration from. This is another huge one that I think a lot of people don't even comprehend really. Like, when you are speaking to your colleagues, your clients, your prospects, all of these different conversations a lot of times can be repurposed into blog content. When you are hearing certain trending topics or questions being brought up continuously, that's a blog. When you're debating a hot topic that people are on both sides of the fence, that's a blog. So when people have questions or concerns or interests, just start thinking like, how do I write it? Like, how do I maximize this topic into a form to attract business? So just think about that next time that you're talking to colleagues, even if they're in another area of the country. There's still ways to get in, to get inspo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one's short of an opinion, right? So you just scroll down your Facebook feed, you see some post that has a bunch of comments on it. You take the topic, you write your own blog about it, and then you send them, and then you run an ad with that topic. I mean, it's like shooting fish in a barrel at that point.
Right, exactly. And you have to understand, this content is great for, and I'm going to talk about another area that this content is great for, but it's great for your brand. It's great for your SEO. It's great to start conversations. You'll be surprised at how many lurkers there are on social media, even in your email. People may not click, they may not reply, they may not open things, but they see it. And that's the first step. It's like a mobile billboard. You're at least staying top of mind, and that's a win in itself. So as long as you're staying,
you got to build the mind share.
Exactly.
To steal a phrase.
Yep, exactly. You want to, but lean into who you are. Be authentic, and that goes into my next point here, or actually that was my last point. But I'll just skip right to it. Your own passions, your interests, your hobbies, these are also things you guys can write about. Lean into who you are, be authentic. I'm not saying to write about politics, even if you're passionate about politics. There's certain things to not talk about, but there are, like we were talking about, like Ozark, or like, certain things that you enjoy. Like, I'm a big sports guy, as you know, I love the Bucks. Shout out Tom Brady, huge year already. But yeah, don't make me get my helmet, man. Yeah, so if I'm a big sports guy, and I talk about sports on my personal feed all the time. Like, I start conversations with people in my community just about things that I enjoy. So you can join Facebook groups, just be social. That's why we have social media. It's pretty simple. So, stop being a lurker and actually engage with people and post your own content, but also engage with your people, engage with your followers, start conversations that way. That actually just brought up an idea that I had that I wasn't even going to talk about, but I'm going to bring this up. If you guys go to dippidi.com, if you go to resources here, you can download a free 30-day ebook about what to post on social media. This is something that you guys can just download and use right away. And this will at least give you some ideas to start putting out some content to get the wheels moving. I didn't even think about this, Randy, but they could definitely download, and maybe I can include this as well, but they can download this guide and get some inspiration on stuff to post as well.
Dippidi.com/guide. Easy peasy. Everyone can write that down.
Yeah, it's pretty simple if you just go to dippidi.com/guides. But yeah, that'll also give you some inspo, and we made it kind of like a challenge to see how you can post these things. But again, be sensitive to the time that we're in. Of course, this was made pre-pandemic, so you may need to shift things around. Just be sensitive to what's going on in your respective areas. That's all.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah,
just use common sense. That's all it is.
Yep. So this is let me see. This is I believe this is the last slide that I was going to go into here, and I kind of want you to jump in on this part as well.
Yeah, I would too.
The CRM database side of things. Okay, so we talked about marketing, branding, and advertising to attract people and to get them into your funnels or to re-engage them. People that are already, shown some sort of intent on social media or on your website. But when they come into your CRM, now this is like the jelly to our peanut butter. Okay, like Chime is like the bread. We're like the peanut butter. The CRM nurturing and the drip campaigns and you as a salesperson, that's the jelly. It all has to work together for it to taste right. So with the CRM, these are steps that you can take right now, especially when we have a little bit more time. Things are still slowly getting back, to how things were. But these are things you guys can be doing right now as well in your CRM to take your marketing, branding, and advertising into your follow-up as well. Okay. So when it comes to the content that we just talked about, everything that I just coached on, you can repurpose this content via email. So if you have, obviously Chime gives you amazing power to see what people are consuming on your website. You have an opportunity to have a serendipitous moment, Dippidi, where you actually send people content that makes sense based on what they are showing intent on. It's not saying, hey, Randy, I saw you looking at my latest testimonial. What do you think, buddy? Like, it's not like that. It's
See how great I am?
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to be creepy, but you want to just be like, oh wow, I guess I wouldn't be there. There's ways you can naturally send this content, even if it's not as specific as that. If you have a past buyer or an old buyer lead, and you wrote an article about buyer myths during the pandemic, it's a great blog to send to them. So you can send people these blogs in what's called like a batch email, or you can send it, or you actually put them in your drip campaigns. So if it's an evergreen blog, like about top buyer, questions that people ask in Lakeland, Florida when they move here, for my first time home buyer or my recently reload action plan, I could put that blog in there because it makes sense. I can put other pieces of content that's not just about like, hey, I got new homes for sale. Hey, I got new homes for sale. Hey, I have 20 years of experience. Book a call. Hey, check your home's value. Then by like the 6th email drip, I'm out. Like I'm not even talking to you anymore. Right. But if you mix in some content that gives me value as well, now I'm like, okay, well, this is different. My other realtor where I moved never sent me articles about new businesses. Like I want to go to that new brewery that opened up. I had no idea. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just things like that.
And let me chime in, if you will. This is why it's so bad. This is why it's so important to maintain and have a clean database, if you will. It is such a chore to build a large database and go back and maintain it and categorize and label everyone and make sure every data is filled properly. Make sure your database is clean. You've got your labels assigned. You've got your groups. You've got your, are they a first-time home buyer fields checked and things of that nature, so that you can then build this custom list within your Chime CRM and then send out this content you're creating, whether it's evergreen or otherwise, and you can then actually activate smart plans based off of these very custom lists as well. So take advantage of the fact that you can build a very specific group of people, similar to the way you want to be doing that on Facebook, right? So,
I mean, you could do it even deeper in the CRM though. Like you have even more data, so
you absolutely do, because you're not limited outside of what data you know or have, right? So if you've got your group of Bucks fans, you want to label them as Bucks fans and talk to every single one of them about Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski coming to ruin their career in Tampa Bay, right? So,
or maybe I'll run an ad to New England, getting people to move down to Florida to follow. I don't know.
Man, if that was a thing that happened, I feel bad for that person. Those ugly cream orange jerseys. Anyways.
Easy.
You see this right here. Organize and clean up your database. That's. I mean, to me, that's number 1, 2, and 3. You have to have an organized database before you can really do any of this to get the most amount of effectiveness.
Yep, most definitely. And as you're cleaning that up, make touch points. Don't just like clean it up and move on to the next person. Like send a quick bomb email or a bomb video, or send a quick touch point that just says, hey, how are you doing? How are the kids? How are you dealing with everything? Like just that simple question, such a long way. And it takes you 10 seconds. So as you're cleaning up the database, start some conversations. It's only going to help. Content creates conversations. Conversations create clients. That's one thing that I'm a firm believer in. So just start conversations. But you brought up another great point, Randy, like with your targeting, I can, even though I'm limited to the radius of my area with Facebook now, based on the laws and regulations, I can still do interest-based targeting. I can target Tampa Bay fans, like you just mentioned. I can target sports fans. I can target people who show some commonalities or some things that I'm interested in. And if if I brand myself as the sports guy real estate agent in Central Florida, I'm going to definitely make pillar content around sports. I'll probably have a sports podcast, quite frankly, that I would be able to pour into and get people into my funnel. And like, I'd be creating content around sports. I'd be creating ads that have me like with my Bucks helmet, like showing a property or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just something.
Yeah. His point is do something you enjoy, right? Pick something you really enjoy and somehow weave it into your business. And at the end of the day, people need homes to live in, right? So you may think that sports has nothing to do with real estate. Well, like you just said, content creates conversations, and these sports conversations are ultimately going to yield, hey, you know, I'm thinking about buying or selling soon, right? And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. The mindset you need to take into these conversations is, I'm a professional. I take care of my clients, and there are a lot of hobbyists in this industry. And if I don't ask this person if they need help buying or selling, they may very well end up in the hands of a hobbyist who will do them a disservice. And a great story is yesterday, my girlfriend's getting into real estate. My girlfriend's mom has been into real estate for 3 decades. And they're doing a deal with an agent who waived the rights to an inspection. And this is not a foreclosure. This is not an investment property. This is someone's house they're moving into. And this hobbyist of an agent is waiving their right to an inspection. And I just looked at my girlfriend and her mom and said, is that normal? And they said, no, it's not. So you are the professional. You will take care of them. And if you are not asking, you are actually doing them a disservice.
100%, man. Yeah, and the last thing that I'll leave on with is just the video follow-ups. You know, some of you guys do video with your marketing front-facing. Take that a step further with your follow-up and with your action plans and your CRM. Send those one-on-one video emails, even if it's a 30-second, 60-second. It takes you minimal effort and energy. And that I promise you guys, it goes a long way for you to stand out. And that's the whole thing that you want to do as a real estate agent in a competitive industry, is to stand out. So, yeah, man. Here's a quote here.
I love it.
I forgot that was there, so I kind of spoiled it. Content creates conversation.
That's all right. We'll leave it on there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just mic drop it there, and then we'll go write the questions.
Oh, boom. There you go. For a private one-on-one chat. Dippidi, like serendipity.com/contact.
Yeah, if you guys, feel free to drop any questions that you have right now. I think we have 5 minutes or so left, Randy. I can answer some questions now for the whole group. But if you have more like private questions that you want to ask, or if you want to dive a little bit deeper into knowing exactly what we do for clients, or if there's something that went over your head and you want me to explain a little bit more, I'd be happy to jump on a call with you. So,
if you have Dippidi questions or Chime questions, this is the time to ask them.
Awesome. Yeah, man. And the one, like, people are saying, I'm scrolling back up in the comments, I'm definitely going to send this slide deck for everyone. So yes, definitely we'll send that. I think I saw a question here. Are you writing the blog in your website and sharing it from there? Nicole's asking. Yes, 100%. So you write the content on your website. So on your Chime website, you have a blog feed that pours into it, and you have the ability to create, a WordPress blog that you create dynamic, hyperlocal, custom content. That's what we do for our clients, and you have the same ability with your platform. Go in there and create the blog content that will be housed on your blog roll, and then that lives on your site forever. Even if it's timely, it lives in that feed. So when you do share the content, you share that blog straight from your website. That's why it's so beneficial to do that, because you're driving more website activity, or I'm sorry, you're driving more traffic to get more website activity. So again, you're getting new visitors, you're getting repeat visitors, people are staying and sticking on your site longer. So your time on site increases, your bounce rate decreases. All these things are elements in Google's algorithm to when it comes to SEO organic ranking. So what over time, as you consistently do these efforts, when people search, the local food hall that we wrote about, because we got 1,000 people to go to that page, there's a good chance that may come up when people search, and people will read that and go to your real estate website to read that blog. That's just one example, but every piece of content, especially if it's about real estate, of course, like you want that to be in that central hub, and your website should be one of your best salespeople. It should show what you do. It should convey it in a concise way, and it should convert. It should be one of the biggest pillars, and it's really one of your first impressions. So it's super important that you utilize what Chime has to do, like the enhanced website edits with the builder. You have the ability to do IDX hot sheets. The lead scoring system is amazing, and all that communicates together. So
absolutely.
It's just like,
if I may be so bold to say, if you're thinking of your Chime website as only a listing website, you're thinking too small.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, it's not. You guys have really made some enhancements over the last few months that are very very promising, man. And I'm excited to be working with some Chime clients, hopefully. And I mean, obviously, with the tech that you guys have, we are the marketers, we are the executors that utilize the tech on our clients' behalf. So we are never going to be building our own proprietary solutions. We understand that we're here to become an extension to our clients' team and to really maximize what they've invested in. So we understand where we're best served and utilized. It's just doing these custom elements on top of the best tools in the industry. So
what you're getting from Chime is technological capital. What you're getting with Dippidi is the marketing intellectual capital that when you put them together, it yields massive results, right?
Correct.
And I don't think anyone would argue to the contrary. So love what Mary Ellen said here. Thanks, guys, for sharing. Now it's time to dominate. If anyone, at the very beginning, I said you'll walk away from this webinar with actionable steps that you can take to implement in your business. Is there anyone who disagrees with me and thinks that they did not get anything that they can take away from this webinar? If you think that, please put it in the chat, and Tyler and I will figure out how to make it up to you. Lisa, nope. There you go. Love it. Awesome. Cool. Lisa Phillips, Lisa Abrams, thank you. One of those Chime polos.
I need one too.
Yeah, we need to be giving those out to everybody. Mike McGowan should be on the call. Ask him about it.
Stuart said some grading back to me. I can't do that. I can't do that, man. Hold on.
Oh, here it is. We're wrapped up, guys, so now we're just having a good time. But I bet you Tyler comes back with a helmet. There it is. And I'm done. I got nothing left to say.
Tampa.
Yes, let's go.
I can't wait to beat these
Falcons, baby. Let's go. Roddy White. You already know.
All right. On that note, I'm out, Randy.
Awesome. Good talking to you, Tyler. Thanks for everyone attending, and we'll have the recording out as soon as we can. Y'all take care.
See you guys.